live right now. We're live. It's happening.
I'll get a notification when it's about to start. I want to do this for my company.
It looks incredible.
The camera's like, I'm never going to be able to focus on that. What are you talking about? I got a notification. It's live.
All right.
How's the audio? Not as bad as you'd think. It's just going to be me because I'm sitting right behind the camera.
No, the audio is coming from the computer.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I'm really good at computers, Andrew.
Oh, that's why you can figure out which webcam it was.
Yep.
Smarty ass meal. Oh, that's what channels. There we go. Me.
Oh, I should get some.
Who the fuck is dumb enough to subscribe to my channel? You're gonna get demonetized.
Oh shit, you're right. I didn't think about that.
Just knocked offline.
You think?
It'll block it. I don't know what if it's like copy. It depends on.
If it's copyrighted.
Well, it's definitely all going to be copyrighted on Spotify, but it depends on if like what kind of agreement the label has with YouTube. Because sometimes they just like basically they eat the cost, and you don't get to monetize, which is fine.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
But then sometimes they're like, "We're taking your video down."
Well, I'll play it very quietly. I gotta go find one of the presenters.
I finished drafting everything. I just did the final school with some things that I was thinking about. I feel like it makes sense like every design, yeah. And then I'll figure there's also be when that happens, the option to go at the same time they do each other things, like if someone wants to just have it to like change it around or they can have options.
Thank you.
I was thinking how to take like conversation about the day I got who are interested in kind of how to do style or that. Maybe it's weird that it's hard to tell like who's really doing okay, you could be like bigger and yeah. Okay. Do you think that the date of like confirmation to like confirmation of like choose artist by
this thing is.
So by yes, and then
Well, I think maybe that like intro
Phase is actually really important.
was actually important. Yeah. I don't know though. Every time I go up there, I end up with a box full of stuff.
yeah,
It just is like so I ended up with a box of that and some like resin molds from her other daughter who's like, I'm done.
Yeah.
So
Caroline has a sister.
yeah, Alexandra. She's younger. They're so incredibly opposite. She's like the most competent person and works in marketing in LA.
Yeah.
And he's like a very good chick. Carolina's. I also ended up with like a metal toolbox full of like old antique tools that go to be able to do that. And I don't know, I just didn't have.
So we're just saying, oh, show them how to be installed, so like, to see.
But now I will know.
So just staying busy, coming to the art things like I am trying to do. Are you gonna do the things?
I
Well, you're like embedded now. in the library.
It's classic cold.
It's true, yeah.
Maybe, do I need to like make a note that she's a later and need it?
Do you have the same already printed?
It's being printed on Monday, or I'm sending it to the printer on Monday.
Okay, go and see, so I'm just like, I wonder
You can't do it at the library?
No, I can't, I'm not doing it at the library because CPL's paying for it, and they already have a big order in, and I'm just.
And no one of them, they always are like, oh, they go.
They do about 100%, I think, they have.
It would make sense for them to be.
Soccer.
But no, like all of them. But anyways, then I texted them, where I reached out to them, did you guys laminate?
This is stuff.
Pick it up and bring it, it's a 4-inch,
Yeah, that should be fine.
so, and it's gonna be a lot.
You can always just call it at a time and it takes about 15 minutes.
Like last night, I obviously had rain on Wednesday.
TPL would prefer to have it laminated because then they can, it's like easier to store.
Yeah.
It's less fragile. Can you do dry erase on top and erase of laminated? Yeah, that's too, like.
They give you
Like install.
I'm also feeling.
I was telling my boss about my idea for with someone to do kudzu basket weaving. She was like all about it.
Yeah,
She
oh,
was
there's
like,
chairs and people.
She's like, I looked into that before, and I'm like, there's people who just do that.
Yeah, they do. There's somebody that came to us.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Honestly,
They had a couple
but I mean, everybody on my team is like, so there isn't.
somebody came in, but then there's also somebody that.
Yeah, that's just the one that she had been
But it's still installed. It's Plays live stream. It's an old VHS. I think it's VHS-C, yeah. Compact VHS.
our annual craft meeting, she's gonna be at next year.
I mean,
We have a bunch of innovative activities, and we have So I actually like was so disappointed
You see them before, right? Yeah. They have like 4 or 5 cameras.
When I was like,
Just
yeah, I know it's not
It's like every time they have a hand,
trying to find another.
give the man.
You want it?
It's everywhere. There's also
Okay, this way, just so you see the like comparison.
Yeah.
It has like.
It's a little sketchy.
But it's possible to.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I really,
I don't know how it happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get some classes.
Sourcing.
You want to talk about it?
No, I just once a month, like, and I find. No, I'm just here. No, I'm getting into talking about it.
No, it's not.
Live stream right now.
Oh, hello. Hello, I'm not going to be joining you on this.
Maybe some
Yeah, I was like telling my mom, people are getting up and talking about my art.
It's more open than
Yeah.
area after we've been drying flowers. So I think they still smell like.
Did you hear that, y'all?
Clay's gotten a haircut in 7 minutes.
Do you guys have a popcorn maker? I'm sure you guys have some. Sorry, I'm just doing it. That's hardcore.
Last time somebody just played music.
I think they're just only one.
Or just in general for like workshops and stuff. People like,
Yeah, well, I do know where exactly where it's set aside in my house. That I have in my house.
It was just like a really unfortunate,
Oh, yeah.
Spanish class when I was 16.
like, not thinking about the implications of the last thing she said before she
Should be like
Hello. Person on the other side.
Yeah, well, sort of, but like, it wasn't about me or anything. It was like,
No, yeah.
yeah.
There's so many random.
Yeah. It's very silly. Like, she's going to pick up a washer and dryer. And like earlier today, she's like, my sister set up this washer and dryer. And it's from 2 dudes, and I have to pick it up at like 8 p.m.
And then it also gives you a list of all the types together with a picture.
And then I was like, well, we can say something.
It's literally, it's physically painful.
And then
The day after the election, last Wednesday, we
I was like,
and
I was, I don't know what I said, something.
there was
I
a
was
period
like,
of time where she.
I was like, how is it going or something? She said, well, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
And it was after like 40 minutes. I'm like, doesn't look as good. Say like,
Yeah. She was like talking about the dryer or something.
Like, it turns out, it wasn't even 2 dudes. It was a girl. And then the dad was make sure she's good.
Okay.
That's what that doesn't look good. It's like whether or not it gets loaded in your truck. All right.
Elderly, yeah.
None of that was in the message though. Just like this long conversation about safety and it doesn't look good.
I can see how one's heart would palpitate, like in 8.
My watch says it's
Yeah. Was that happening like as you were holding it?
Yeah.
Real time, like still like checking in as the yes. Did they get it? Did she get it? That was my other question. She moving. I'm like, how did you have big shit like that? Like I haven't.
I don't know how they loaded it. I mean, I guess whoever she bought it from is really father.
Yeah.
And then her maid person for the apartment.
Yeah. Okay.
Last night actually.
Every time.
That's a whole other side. They like paid per maid person.
Yeah.
Extra. So it's like office block.
Oh, right, he's not. Right. Okay.
Why wouldn't she just say like?
So they also should be.
Yes.
Do you mind if this over here and in your exhibition?
Go for it.
Okay, awesome. You promise not to take this.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Hardly.
Maybe I might do him like right after yours then.
Great.
So we don't have to like.
Perfect.
Like,
Shuffle back and forth.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
to another very long story.
Crystal, do you still want to go? You still need to go first? Okay.
I have no preference anymore.
And you still need to go last. Okay.
It's a bit of a setup.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we'll probably do you,
Okay.
then you, then you, and then you, and then you. And you can set up during it.
Oh, that's perfect, actually.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great.
Good job.
Yeah, I got one question. But there's also one in the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
You pick one of the chairs.
Just on a switch.
That's why I was like sitting.
You want to set them like here?
We don't know exactly what that means. Is the bubble, the recipe?
I guess, When when Brody gets here, we all stand up and like applaud him. Is that?
It was the cue.
Yeah, I mean when a short bald guy walks through the door. Yeah, I mean it's after 7, but we have so few people today. Okay. We need to start right on time.
Whatever you wanna do.
I know it's literally my circus.
This is your circus.
This is mine.
Does that make us your monkeys?
Yes. Especially.
It should only take as long as
Our circus.
Oh, this is crazy. Oh my god.
No.
Like, she doesn't
No, it's fine with the monkeys. Fine with the monkeys. Can't take full responsibility. She knows the way to talk.
Yeah, she called me to talk about the February show.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
that's like it's an online like Instagram takeover residency that I somehow ended up running. It was started like almost 10 years ago by these 3 UTC alums, and then they passed it down.
I'll see what I can do now.
Yeah, I was like, I had
Figuring
never
it
heard
out.
of it before.
Yeah, we don't have like a crazy big following, and it's kind of on a skeleton crew right now because I have so much else going on in my life. And, this
And
is
I
like,
think that
I want to build it up, but it's so hard. And I got too many things going on, and there's this is such a dead end thing. There's no money.
If she doesn't, let me know. 'Cause
I need to make some money.
Actually, I have a couple of people that.
So, but if you want to apply to be a resident,
I don't know.
you'd be a shoe in.
And by
Yeah, that's the hard part about it is, if you want,
Yeah. Yeah. He said, okay, I'll do it in a couple months. And I said, actually, to do it right
Right
now.
now.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that, by the way. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
I was, and it's,
Because I hadn't heard
it's
of
fine, so we're gonna have to think about.
well, I did that for that, actually.
Oh, yeah.
That's why. I was-
I need to,
You're always.
basically, I need to get in, there's some like online calculation tools we use, to like
Okay.
do the math.
I don't want to wait on Brody anymore.
Yeah.
He's just going to miss out.
We'll just have to start, and yeah, I was gonna be mine in November, and then at the beginning of.
I bet he'll love you as soon as I start.
It was like, hey, so the person who was doing this.
Hi.
Hi.
There's very few of you here today, so I'll keep it brief. It's cold. No one wants to be here, so.
You all want to be here, shut up.
Yeah, so the only thing I need to say about Soapworks is that Red Dot is coming up, and if you haven't got tickets already, please get them. It is a really, really fun party, and it supports Soapworks, and there will be a local artist show. There he is. See, yeah, there's a local artist salon, and if you would like to have art in that, I'm pretty sure you just have to tell get with Charlotte or just email exhibitions@soapworks.org, and we'll see what we can do. I'm going to be in it. You all should too. It's a great opportunity to celebrate. Yeah, and if you are in the show, you get a discount too. That's pretty sweet. So without further ado, we'll start with Megan.
Sure.
Walk through the gallery here.
Which means you can stand up.
Stand up.
Right?
Do you want to bring it over here because we're going to have vision too?
You man, I just was trying to get you in
Okay,
frame.
so what's the format?
I'm in frame.
We got 7 minutes. Is this really what we do? 7 minutes? Yeah, awesome. So option 1 is look at this work. Option 2 is look in there. Either way, I'm good with either one. That is kind of what I consider like my research area. There's some fun fluid prints, and I can explain what that is too if you want to look at that stuff. But this is kind of like the main exhibition. So this was work from about March 2023 until October 2024. So just over about a year and a half's worth of work was funded by Current Art Fund, which they are with the big granting program with the Warhol Foundation. They choose, I think, 8 or 9 artists across Tennessee, and so I was in the Eastern Bloc for that year, and it was aligning already with a project I had just started that was in connection with Trust for Public Land, which is a local nonprofit, and they had put in a connector trail from Red Bank, the city where I live, to Stringer's Ridge. So they were putting in a connector trail. It's a beautiful place to bird. I don't know if Clay's been out there before. It's got gorgeous birds and wildlife, and Red Bank had just become a bird sanctuary city right at that moment. And when they were putting that connector trail in, there was a historian named Michael Hitt who was hired by a town in North Georgia to find out more about their town, why they were named this, called Chamblee, Georgia. And he found out the guy was from Hill City and died and was buried in the municipal cemetery in Hamilton County. So we don't have a record of that. We don't know what you're talking about. And so he followed the maps and followed all these different things and discovered that there was a cemetery right off the connector trail on Stringer's Ridge. And it was a municipal cemetery that interred paupers, people who were poor, indigent, who also were Jane Does or John Does from 1890 until 1912. And so it's a historic cemetery, and not much of one. It had a lot of the research that I did were news clippings from the era that talked about body snatching, because this coincided with the Chattanooga Medical College opening, and they needed fresh bodies. And so they would just go out there and peruse and take what they could. And so then families would also be like, oh, my loved one died in Chattanooga, I'm going to come and claim their body. Obviously, there was no embalming or even electricity to store bodies, so they had to immediately bury you. They'd go to this place, be like, this place is messed up. It's got bones, bodies, hogs eating bodies, hair, tufts of hair. They described these horrible conditions. And even the undertakers were often indicted. They were put in jail and then out of jail and then put back as sexton being undertaker, back and forth, this crazy roundabout history that's pretty wild. And so I decided to tag in this body of work just to study 1 year of seasonal change, because there's going to be some land management interventions that happen. I don't know what they're going to do with the kudzu, how they're going to deal with that. But there'll be a cultural and ecological and archaeological survey of the area, including figuring out these detention ponds over here, because it's probably interments under there, as a neighborhood came and dug this area out to take their water runoff from their neighborhood and put it there. And so there's a lot of weird historical things that happened, and then contemporary things that were happening. So I just wanted to look at 1 year of seasonal change and, love the kudzu. Actually, it's like this push and pull with kudzu. Like love it, hate it. It's awful, but it's also weirdly beautiful. And yeah, the women prints in there are cameraless images of kudzu, just one-to-one relationship, just on the photographic paper, left out in the sun, and then cooked in the sun and then fixed. And so there's plenty of those kind of images as well, just kind of rethinking kudzu and like our relationship to that. So yeah, any questions? I love answering questions. Kind of intense, sort of downer of a topic, but for me personally, like this is large format black and white, so you know, the big camera, 4x5 inch negatives, and these are all like darker prints. So very much in my traditional realm of that, but also that kind of abstraction of figuring out how to tame all that green when it's like really like wildly summer. It just becomes all one color, and also you can kind of have some really interesting abstract things happening when there's black and white.
What were the markers that with the numbering?
So there were very few iron markers. I think maybe there's 9. One of them, there's 2 that are missing right now. As I'm also aware of people taking things from there. But there were very few, and so there was a historical moment in one of the news clippings where the judge became aware that this place sucked, and like they weren't even really burying bodies, they were just like dumping them out there, and they said, now we're gonna have iron markers and we're gonna put a fence around it so the wild hogs don't come and just like eat people's loved ones. And so there have been about 9 of those found, but there's no number. I mean, there's no record of who the person is at all. But Michael Hitt, when he did his research, associated 2,508 names with the site. It's a lot. It's a lot of people. A lot of people are interred or not interred there, depending on if once it was a felony, it was a misdemeanor to disinter, dig up a body until 1899, and then after that, it was a felony. So instead of burying the bodies, they just pulled the wagon around to the side house that was over there and just left them in the wagon, and then the medical students would just come and take them. So they wouldn't get in trouble, they wouldn't get a felony. It's like their way around it somehow. But so most likely there's not 2,508, but then there are also stories of like families like, you know, their infant dies and they sneak out there in the night so nobody would steal the infant's body, and like other people burying in the cemetery as well. Yeah. And this was like the outskirts of town at that point in like 1890. But it's like sandwiched in between like Hill City and Red Bank now, riding that Stringer's Bridge, all those trails over there.
What was that one cemetery that got like founded because somebody was going to do construction or like tree knot?
Becknob, yeah, the Becknob is a beautiful cemetery. They did a really good job of like stopping the construction and halting it because they went back and forth with them. They were like, no, it's fine, there's no bodies here. And they did a full search and found that there were. And then I guess the developers were like, oh, yay, us, we're so great. Look, we didn't like build on top of the cemetery. It's like, okay, yeah. Good for you, buddy.
Megan,
Yeah,
that's time.
awesome. Yay!
All right.
Cool, thanks.
You ready to rock?
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna dance over here. Do you guys have speakers?
We actually harvested kudzu music baskets.
Kudzu biscuits.
Yeah.
It's on my radar.
We
I want to learn how to do that. Yeah,
we took a workshop.
out at Cumberland, is that at the Squatchy?
Cumberland Folk School.
That's what, I was like, I couldn't remember the name of it, but the Squatchy. Okay,
It's really awesome.
that's it. That's on my radar for, that's one of the workshops I want to do with TPL.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's one of the workshops I want to do with the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran out of kudzu in the like area just in our backyard, but obviously it's not
It's gonna grow back.
probably, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Trying to be thorough, so.
It's also not like, it's not just grass everywhere around.
That's true, yeah, like I was like, literally just go here.
Yeah.
Exactly one thing I could ever use.
Yeah.
Help that out a little bit.
Yeah.
Honestly, if there was a way to like automate the processing of kudzu vines, you could make an insane amount of great material for women. Just like,
Or when they go in, I don't know if they're gonna clear all
Yeah,
that.
I
That's what it's like, I want
yeah.
to keep it because
It's the first song.
just keep going.
Sorry.
Thank you.